Y'all, I'm just over it. I'm just fucking over this. Like, I can't eat food anymore because I'm so paranoid and it just freaks me out. Like, this is fucking chocolate. I'm not eating this shit. But reading, I have to read everything on the label. I always read everything. And just seeing bioengineered food literally makes my stomach sick. My stomach is literally churning right now because I'm like, how much shit are we eating that we're not supposed to? And I look at this stuff all the time.
This is what the fuck have I been eating for the past 7 or 8 years that has been making me sick. For the past 4 years, I have been on this app trying to figure out what food is making me sick. And it literally felt like every single thing was making me sick.
Listen, I need all the people that don't like McDonald's and all the people that done ate McDonald's and it made you sick. McDonald's, count your days. I couldn't even celebrate my birthday dinner on yesterday because of you guys. I ordered a chicken sandwich just to get me over until my birthday dinner. When I tell you I was sick as a dog, I don't know what y'all put in there, whatever y'all done, but I was so sick. I started to cancel my birthday dinner, but I had already made plans for everybody to be there. And that would have been like inconsiderate. So anyway, long story short, my stomach was just all over the place. I went anyway. When I got there, we went to Cheddar's. I ordered salmon, rice, and broccoli cheese casserole. When I ate, oh my God, I got really sick. I'm talking about sick. I did not enjoy my birthday dinner. I couldn't take pictures with my family or my friends, and I was laid out. I couldn't breathe. I started throwing up, and by the time that I got home, I was tore up from that McDonald's food. Not only that, my cousin was sick and my grandbaby from eating McDonald's. McDonald's, count your days.
Well, here we go. We're going to go through a whole bunch of video reactions on food, and it's making everybody sick. Now, hold the boat one moment. I thought, living in the United States, that we had something called the FDA that was supposed to be protecting us. Okay, so, I took a look, did a quick search. What is the responsibility? Let me read it to you. The Food and Drug Administration, FDA, is responsible for protecting the public health by assuring the safety, security of human and veterinarian drugs, biological products, medical devices, our nation's food supply, cosmetics, and products that emit radiation. Okay, so there it is, quick search, condensed down from, 20 million pages of political bullshit down to a one paragraph. That is what they're supposed to be doing. Now, it seems strange to me that multiple countries throughout the world outlaw almost 100% of the stuff that the Food and Drug Administration says, hey, this is good for you. Oh, hang on, I got to go get my check from my mailbox for my payoff from that company that I said, was okay with their drugs. Hang on. Well, check this out here.
I don't know if people have been feeling sick lately. Whether it's like your legs is not feeling normal, or your other arm ain't feeling normal, whether it's your chest or your head ain't feeling normal. And like certain food that you're eating, it just don't taste the same. It don't taste as fresh as it's supposed to be. The stuff that you drink, it's even the water is kind of suspicious. Sodas is kind of suspicious to drink at the moment in time. Like nothing is not tasting and hitting the same and feeling good. Stuff is making you feel sick, whether you're getting a headache, feeling nauseous or something. I don't know. Even the fruits. The fruits is making you use the bathroom. And it's like you taking a laxative. Like, nah. People are finding stuff coming out of the cans that they're drinking. I seen a video where a guy was eating dog food. Listen, man. What the hell are people, what are we gonna eat? All these foods are not fresh. People is eating dog food. Yo, it's getting bad. It's getting terrible. It's getting worse. That's all I can say. Try to find the best food you can buy. Stack up. Make sure you get the right waters. Stack up, because even the ones that you're getting off the floor, the things in the cans, it's like shit is going bad.
Definitely. I noticed shortly after. Yeah, they're still monitoring this crap to make sure that we don't say it. And AI now can actually, if you put it on screen, will spell it out and then flag your video and they won't show it. Anyways, I noticed shortly after that, being a Coke man my entire life, the taste changed. It wasn't good anymore. Now, in the town that I live in, it's an old town, and some of the piping still supposedly leading up to the houses might be lead. There's, I installed a 13 separate unit water filtering system. But I have to make sure that I give the dogs filtered water too. Otherwise, they get sick, they throw up. We live in a cesspool of contamination. I make my dogs food, and the beef that I used to put in there, it all just changed. It was like you were separating wax. It didn't look the same, didn't taste the same. Now, being lucky, living in the state that I'm at, I'm able to go directly to a beef producer who raises his own cattle, and I'll buy a whole cattle from him and have it, made up now. Had to buy 2 extra freezers. I mean, that's a lot of meat, but the point being is that you can take that fresh burger and those steaks, and there is a noticeable difference in quality and in taste from what is at the stores. But let's check this out here. This will bring it home. And don't forget, at the end, I've got a trifecta. And the last one, if that don't make you puke and come to the realization that our government does not give a shit beyond what the money that they're getting paid through all these lobbyists and under the table and corruption crap, if this doesn't make you puke, nothing will. Let's check this out.
I don't think it's nice. I am feeling like I want to die and that this is complete torture, and I don't know what I did to somebody to make me sit here and do this, and I just don't think it's nice.
Real quick and to the point, she goes out of the country, eats there, comes back, and the body's like recoiling. Just recoiling in the fact that it's eating crap. That whatever the hell's all in our food system here is not designed for us and for our health. Just like the same thing, politics and politicians are not here for us. They're only here for the dollar. And screw everybody else. But I'll get off of politics. We'll move on to the next one here.
Sometimes I physically can't bring myself to eat, even if I genuinely want to, because the thought of food makes me feel sick.
Taking on those intense waves of nausea, disgust, and indifference that randomly pop up around food, especially when I'm feeling really anxious, dissociated, and stressed. I've noticed I'm particularly sensitive to certain textures, warm food, and the act of chewing in general. So when real food feels disgusting, I make or buy cold soups or cold smoothies to help me stomach it a bit better.
Well, you know, I chose that one, but there are some people who just can't function in life. Let's move on to the next one here.
Thousands of pounds of chicken meat without killing a single chicken. And Upside Foods has spent over $200 million in research and development in order to create this technology.
Let me show you how we do it.
Please do, I don't understand.
When we took cells from a chicken egg in 2018, we cracked an egg, we took a small amount of cells, and we froze them in this that goes down to -80.
Wow. And you've used those cells to make hundreds of thousands of pounds of chicken meat.
Step 2 is we take those cells, we gently thaw them out.
Oh my gosh. This is simulating a chicken's body and the cells are just multiplying.
Once we get enough of them, we move on to step 3.
This is protein, fat, sugar. I'm literally feeding the chicken cells over there so they can multiply into chicken meat.
That's right, yes.
And once the chicken feed is in the container, it moves all the way through these pipes and through the factory and eventually ends up in here.
We can look through this. You'll see chicken cells just swimming and swimming in there.
Oh my goodness. It's a lot of chicken. So, every 2 seconds, this produces a chicken's worth of chicken meat.
Yeah, every few seconds.
So we take some cells down to -80, which that kills everything and anything. Then they reanimate it, feed it sugar and protein, and who the hell knows what else, and they're making meat out of it. You know, you ever seen those meat makers that, you know, they go just like a plastic machine? Yeah, you're eating that. Oh, this is building. Let's check out the next one.
I'm looking for this one word. Make sure you never buy meat again until you check this first. After what I just learned, I'm looking for this one word on meat labels that most people don't even know exists. More and more bioengineered food is coming into grocery stores. And it's important to know if you're eating real high quality food or if it's fake meat. Lab-grown synthetic, those are words you'll never see on a package because they never use those big scary words. They're doing everything they can to use words that trick us, to make it seem like it's better than it actually is. So what's happening is we're seeing words that sound way more natural. The word that you're looking for on the packages is cell cultured. US legislators have already made this word legal. And even worse, the USDA have already approved labels that say cell cultivated chicken and cell cultivated beef. This is their sneaky way of making lab-grown meat sound and look acceptable. But let's be real for a minute. This is not actual real meat. This is meat grown in a bioreactor from animal cells that has been processed in a lab and never been part of a living or breathing animal. So the next time you're at the grocery stores, read the label carefully. If it says cell cultivated, cell based, or made from growing animal cells, leave them at the store. Comment below and let me know if you've seen this in grocery stores already.
Yeah, so somewhere on the label, somewhere on that package, now keep in mind that we're in the United States, but somewhere on there it's supposed to say that. Okay, there's supposed to be some indication that is actual, not a real piece of meat. Okay, now like I said, you know, companies do illegal stuff all the time. They sidetrack stuff all the time. Oh geez, oh that wasn't on the label. We ordered it that way. Check out the next one.
Bioengineered foods. Why are they bad? Bioengineered foods are foods that have had their DNA altered, and they do that for a variety of reasons. When it comes to crops, let's say corn, by controlling the growing process and the DNA of the corn, it can lead to higher yields and more consistent crops. So the growers can guarantee the size of the crop, of the corn, and the quantity. But what happens when you alter DNA is you're adding genes or taking genes away from the food. And it's no longer real food, it's fake food. And those added genes can do a variety of things to our bodies, like they could produce allergy symptoms, mess with our gut biome, leading to digestion issues, or a multitude of other health risks. Back in the 50s and 60s, they didn't have bioengineered food. All of a sudden in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and today, you're seeing obesity issues in America. Autism rates are higher, ADD rates are higher, not to mention depression and anxiety. When these yields are higher and the production is higher, it leads to lower costs. So you'll see a ton of bioengineered foods in like discount grocery stores. While we're talking about it, there's a lot of added chemicals to bioengineered foods. And our bodies are pretty smart. They know how to handle like calories, but they don't know how to handle chemicals. So when we're eating processed foods with a lot of chemicals, the body doesn't know how to digest it, so it tries to get rid of that in another form. Think the big C word: cysts, tumors, or it just stores it as fat. And then we have a really hard time getting rid of that fat, no matter how hard we exercise, because it's stored in the body and the body really doesn't know what to do with it. We can't deny the health crisis in America. You think about it, there's some countries out there that our foods in America are banned there. Some of the ingredients they won't allow. As always, do your own research on what you're putting into your body and make your own decisions. Bon appetit.
Yeah, so you might be watching us and you know, not old enough to remember, okay? And that's fine. That's why I'm telling you this. Now, back in the day when everybody was smoking cigarettes and cigars, they had, meaning the tobacco companies, had paid off doctors and the government. I'm bringing up the government again. To say that it was healthy. It was good for you. 4 out of 5 doctors were smoking Luckies. Now, there was a point in time where all housewives were normally at home all the time, housewives, and they would cook a meal on that thing right there. That's a stove. We didn't open up a box, we didn't open up a can, we didn't open up anything. We went and made everything from scratch. Health problems were at a minimum compared to what problems we have today. And then the grocery stores started showing up. And then canned food products started showing up. And good old Campbell's led the way. Boy, you could get a can of cream of chicken, cream of mushroom, tomato, whatever the case may be. And they had advertisements on TV, on your laundry detergent, stuff like that, where you could get cards on how to make a meal using their products. And this flooded the market, of course, for all products and stuff like that. You know, products that were high in salt, and even at that time manufactured food, and it wasn't good for us. And then we moved into the late 60s, early 70s, and we had figured out how to make more sugared products. And up until the 80s, sugar grew, and into the 90s, sugars massively grew in our food. And it kept on growing and growing, and we have overweight people, we have overweight kids, we have people on diabetes, we have people with health issues, people with heart issues, all this stuff that did not exist pre-1960. But our FDA is looking out for us. Oh! On to the next one.
Top 10 bioengineered foods that are probably hiding in your pantry. This means the finished product contains detectable amounts of GMO ingredients. Number 1, Tostitos, made almost entirely from GMO corn. Number 2 is Gatorade for high fructose corn syrup, also from GMO corn. Number 3, Heinz ketchup, a staple for your childhood with high fructose corn syrup. Number 4, Hellmann's mayo with GMO soybean oil as the base emulsifier. Number 5 is Honey Nut Cheerios for GMO cornstarch, sugar, and canola oil. Number 6, Skippy peanut butter. Number 7 is Coffee Mate, and as we know by now, you should not be using coffee sweeteners. Number 8, Nutella, which uses GMO soy lecithin as an emulsifier. Number 9, Campbell's soup for GMO cornstarch as a thickener. And number 10, Clabber Girl baking powder, also with GMO cornstarch. The issue is that these ingredients are literally bioengineered to be drenched in Roundup, a glyphosate-based herbicide. The best thing you can do is avoid big name brands that only care about mass-producing ingredients cheaply, and always double check your food on the Oasis app to look for hidden contaminants where we test new foods daily.
You know, we live in a society now where everything is available to us on a computer right now before, you know, AI and our corporations and our governments start limiting on us on what they want us to hear. But right now you can almost get like 80% of the truth. You can make your own wise decisions. And here's, you know, another classic example with the old GMO seeds growing into GMO products that are specifically GMO made in order to take on glyphosate and all that kind of stuff to kill the weeds around it so they can have a better crop and a larger crop. All of this stuff has been altered, and we wonder why we're having the health situations that we have stacked on top of the shitty insurance system that we have and the shitty healthcare hospitals that we have. But we're building here on the end. These are ones coming up. Let's check them out.
Moving forward, if you are buying food for you and your loved ones, make sure you look on the ingredients of every single item you buy. We just went through a majority of our snacks and food that we eat throughout the week, and all of this contains bioengineered food ingredients. If you haven't heard of it, Bill Gates, it seems, leads the charge in developing these foods, as you call it, which is just poison. So not only are they poisoning us chemtrails in the air we breathe in, they're also poisoning us in our food products that we are eating on a daily basis. The fact that this is happening blows my mind. Doesn't matter what side you are on, we need arrest if this is happening, which obviously it is. This should infuriate any parent or any civilian that we are consuming these products on a daily basis. If you haven't looked into it, look up bioengineered food products. It is being distributed all around the country throughout a lot of different stores. Pass this message along. Stay educated. Have a great day.
Chris Kempczynski had filmed a promotional video for McDonald's new Big Arc Burger. During the clip, he repeatedly described the burger as a product rather than food, took an unusually small bite during the taste test, and appeared stiff and uncomfortable on camera. The video quickly spread across social media.
That was funny. He didn't even take a bite. He didn't, I mean, he just kind of like shaved the edge of the burger just to show the kind of had something in his mouth to chew. And the look, if you have not seen, you know, because there's a lot of clips of this floating around the internet, if you can find an original one and take a look at his face, it is like he just ate rat poison. This man was just not himself. He knew he was eating death. I mean, just absolutely amazing. But here are the clips that I promised you right now. If this don't make you puke at the end, but it's building, okay? We got 3 of them. It's gonna build up to the end. I'm just gonna let it roll all the way through.
Soylent Green is people. So Soylent Green came out in the early 1970s. It's one of the great
science fiction films of all time. Stars Charlton Heston.
Oh, I love Charlton.
He's a cop in the megalopolis. We've had such an explosion in population that from Boston to DC, it's just all one giant city. It's just all connected. So he's a cop in what used to be called Philadelphia. And eggs are $100 a piece. A jar of jelly is $150. There's one tree left in New York City and they had to build a fort around it so it could be protected. It was the only tree that's left on the East Coast. And like I say, he's a cop and he lives with this old man who was a professor. So nobody can afford to eat. So the government provides these little nutritional chips. There's Soylent Green, which is colored green, Soylent Red, Soylent Yellow. And it's like $1.98 a pound. So that's what everybody eats, what everybody lives on. In the meantime, there are such huge riots of hungry people that they have these big earth movers that just go scoop people up during demonstrations and it throws them into the back of a dump truck and then they just disappear. You don't know what happened to them. So Charlton Heston, he's barely able to make a living. At least, he's got Soylent Green he can eat. And the professor decides he's 70 years old, he's sick. They have these suicide centers that you can just go, you lay in a bed, and they show you a film of just nature, deer running around and butterflies and birds tweeting. You've never seen anything like this before. So as they give you the lethal injection, that's what you get to see. And there's classical music playing, so it's all very nice. Charlton Heston runs to the suicide center to stop his friend from committing suicide. And he has to break into the place. He's too late to save him, but he follows the trail that they've taken the body to. And they take the body to a processing center where they're making Soylent Green out of all these people that they're scooping up at the demonstrations. And as they're arresting him and beating him, he shouts, "Soylent Green is people!"
Oh my God.
They're using human fetal cells from aborted babies as a flavor enhancement in our food supply.
Pepsi was busted for doing that. Pepsi was using that as a flavor enhancer in their cola.
Yeah, PepsiCo is certainly one of them, but the list is very long, and it's important for everybody to download the flyer that we have on stopthecrime.net so you don't consume this aborted fetal tissue. What does it do? Well, it incites anger, and it literally rewires our brain as we cannibalize ourselves. The same thing, of course, which happened with mad cow disease when they were grinding up roadkill and other cattle and feeding it to the cattle. We're being fed our own species, and we must know the products that are certainly implementing this. So I'm going to just read some of this to you now. But again, I caution you when you type in the list of companies using fetal cells from aborted babies, which you can do. Again, the list of companies using fetal cells from aborted babies. You're going to see a very disturbing photograph. But Cinemix is listed on its website, and its partners decided to ignore the letter from the right to Life group that was certainly organizing against the use of humans in the food supply. And sadly, the Right for Life group lost their bid to stop this during the Obama administration. Now remember, it doesn't matter who's president. Anyone could have been president at that time. We're a corporate structure. We're run by the corporation, and certainly PepsiCo is a massive corporation.
Drop the mic. I mean, really, what the hell can you say after something like that? Anyways, YouTube believes that somewhere up here on the screen is going to pop up a little card that you might like that video too if you like this. And of course, you know, the old plug, the old groveling, subscribe, like, leave a comment, do something. But we'll see you on the next one.